Hello and welcome to this impromptu live today about Sovereign Soul Academy. My name is Liz Zamorsky. I am the Femme Genius, and some crazy magic is going on right now, and so I'm just gonna let it unfold in real time with you. So maybe this is your afternoon. If so, hello. If this is your morning, grab yourself a cup of coffee, come sit with me for a second. So I want to talk about Sovereign Soul Academy, and this is my 8-week container that I've created that really allows women to go deep and uncover the truth about themselves, the truth about the life they want to be living. And when I first started this container, November 28th, with the first 5 women, the founding 5, we went into this where I thought this was going to be like a typical kind of coaching container where we were going to find ourselves, we were going to find the truth about ourselves. And I was kind of starting to work out like, okay, the 8 modules are going to be this, and we're going to have workbooks, we're going to have weekly things, da 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 da. But I lied. What I have to show you here is actually what I had. And what I had was this drawing that I have on my wall right now, where I had just mapped out the energy, closed my eyes, mapped out the energy of what Sovereign Soul Academy felt like. And I did not know what the heck this looked like. I was writing, I took myself on a journey through it. I wrote some notes. The women that I was calling in were like this zombie woman up here. Obviously, I'm not going to be hired by the Louvre as a curator, but this zombie woman up here. And I said, the women that I'm calling in want to go from awake to aware. Like they've woken up, they're awake to the fact that there's more to life, that there's more for us out there, but they want to take that awake state and push it into awareness. And that, I didn't know what that looked like. I was like, for some people, that's going to be uncovering inner child stuff. For other people, that's going to be working on healing their mother wound. For other people, it might be contacting their ancestors and getting that support and wisdom. Like, I knew that there were some healing modalities that I was going to take people through, but I didn't know exactly in what order, what it would look like, how we were going to do it. But I knew that the energy of this container of Sovereign Soul Academy was already mapped out somewhere in the universe, and that I was just being told that I need to just follow what's being put in front of me and channel this through to the women in this group. And that's what we did. And that container, because I didn't put outcomes on it, because I didn't put a list of here's what we're going to learn every week, and here's how you're going to feel at the end of this 8 weeks, and da 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 da. So by pulling myself back from that way of leading a group, I was able to open us up and open the experience up to limitless possibilities. And that's what happened. The first week during our virtual retreat, we identified our 3 core values in our lives, and we just did the work to align our lives with those values, however that was going to look. And by the end of the 8 weeks, one of the women had cleared up a rash, a long-standing chronic rash that had been on her chest, by us going through and doing the specific work together that she needed. I channeled that through with her and we cleared it. Another woman hadn't cried. When she came, she was like, I haven't cried in over 5 years. I just want to learn how to cry. I can feel the emotions coming up. I can't access them. I know they're buried under something. And by the end, she was crying. That's usually not a metric of success, but like she was able to create a safe enough space for herself to heal through the emotions, to heal through the trauma that had been holding her tears down here. And she was able to release them. And now she's building her energy work practice, which she was, when she came to me in the beginning, she was like, I don't know how this is going to work. Another woman, she, identified a mother wound that she didn't know she had. And by the end, she's working on her business. And so I'm just saying, like, this took different form for every single woman in that container. But what we did do together was that we were guided. I was channeling through the rituals. So every Sunday for 2 hours, we would meet and we would go through a ritual together. And I would be leading everyone through like, okay, here's the theme that's come through for this week. Here's what we're going to be working on. Here's what I'm being told you need to work on this week. And so let's go there. And every week we would meet through the meditation in this garden space. And we were building on the garden and the healing that happened there every single week. So cut to yesterday. Sovereign Soul 1, the founding 5, that's over. And now I'm planning and I'm marketing the next round of Sovereign Soul Academy. And I thought, in that patriarchal way of thinking, I thought that Sovereign Soul Academy, the next phase, was going to be this again. I was like, oh, I just need to go and watch the videos, take notes, see what we healed, see like what logical steps we went through, go through those module workbooks that I slaved over every week to make sure that everybody had supplemental information about what we were doing. And we're just going to go back into the garden. And then at the end of that, we will cross over the bridge into the new part of the garden, just like the first Sovereign Soul Academy did at the end of their container. And yesterday, my mind was blown because this energy of Sovereign Soul Academy showed up in a big way, and it was ready to have a new conversation with me. I cleared a lot last week of inner child drama, success drama, anger drama. I cleared a lot out. And so I was just really open. And yesterday I was sitting and I was reading and I was taking notes, and it just like dropped into me. It dropped into me. I call them downloads. But the information for the new Sovereign Soul Academy was just like, yo, it's not this anymore. It's not this. I thought it was going to be this again. It's not this. And I was shown, oh my God, I was shown this beautiful scene where basically the first Sovereign Soul Academy were the builders of the garden. They helped build up the universe within which all subsequent healing can take place, is that we all get to go into the garden that's been really built out by the first Sovereign Soul Academy. So that was Sovereign Soul Academy, Builders of the Garden. Now, we are not building the garden in the same way, the infrastructure and the temples and all the beautiful spaces that these women created for healing. This group that's coming up, you are Sovereign Soul Academy, the Keepers of the Well. And I was drawn to pull out this book that I had read called If Women Rose Rooted by Sharon Blackie. And in it, she talks about the well maidens of Celtic culture. And these were women who would be at different well springs that came up out of the ground, and they would stay there and they would tend to the well. And so when travelers would come by, they would give the travelers their favorite food. They would give the travelers a drink from the well, from their beautiful chalices, and they were our connection as a society to the land and revering the land and receiving the abundance that the land has to give us. And at one point there was a new king, and he went to one of these wells. He received the kindness of the well maiden, and then at the end he ripped her dress off and raped her and took her as his slave and rode off. And when men all over the land heard what the king had done to the well maiden, they believed that that was actually a call to arms for all of them to do the same. To take this beautiful ritual and put control over it and silence these women and remove us from our connection as society to the sacred abundance of the earth. And this has played out in so many ways, in so many cultures over the past however many thousands of years. And we're at a time now where it is safe to return to the well. And so the work that we're going to be doing as Sovereign Soul Academy, the Keepers of the Well, is that I will be guiding the 8 women who come into this container to return to that garden and to remember and reclaim the secrets of that well, to remember and reclaim our connection to the earth, to remember and reclaim the truths that are inside of us underneath all this other programming. So you will be doing healing. You will be getting to your core essence, which is where we got to here with the first Sovereign Soul Academy. That was the whole point. But you will be getting there, but we're using a different vehicle. Your work is different than the builders of the garden. You are the keepers of the well. And the keepers of the well are not just about that bubbling life spring. It's about the well inside of us, whether you still have a uterus or not. The keepers of that wisdom. The well that's also full of the narratives and the stories and everything that came from before us and from those around us. We're the keepers of that well. This well up here, the keepers of the knowledge. And we're the keepers of the tradition of receiving that abundance from the world, to be able to receive the abundance that well springs up from within us. And we're going to bridge ourselves back to our heart space to meet our sovereign soul, to meet this part of us that is able to be a keeper of the well, this part of us that knows the truth and who's feeling a calling to go back there. I have to say, in the first Sovereign Soul, we did meet with our ancestors, and I kept calling them the well ancestors. And it was such strange language to me, and it was tripping people up too, because I was like, I'm talking about the healthy ancestors, that we're going back to meet the healthy ancestors who have wisdom for us instead of just pain. And they're going to guide us. But I kept calling them the well ancestors. And yesterday when I was tapping into this energy, I realized that the well ancestors, the reason I kept using that was that that energy was already there, that we are going to be also tapping into our well ancestors. And that doesn't just mean healthy, it means the other keepers of the well, the women who came before us, the men who came before us, who knew how to do this work, who knew how to revere the world, the earth, who knew how to live in alignment with their truth. If they were a healer, they healed. If they were a writer, they wrote. If they were a poet, they spoke poetry. If they were a midwife, they helped deliver life into the world. If they were a medicine person, they also helped us move to the next world, to the other world. But now we get to come back and reclaim what our truth is. We get to be the keepers of the well. So I'm just letting you know that if this speaks to you, let's talk. I have an application form if you would just rather be like, yes, this is for me. Click the link in my bio and apply to Sovereign Soul, and you can pick out your payment plan there. I'm not requiring discovery calls because they make me feel sleazy. If you would like to talk this out a little bit more, I'm absolutely open to that. But I feel that you already know whether you want to do this or not. You already know. You already know that you are a keeper of the well, and that you're trusting also that the energy that comes through, that I channel through for you, is the exact healing that you need. We may be doing well ancestor work. We may be doing a lot of inner child work. We may be doing a rewombing. We may be doing earth reverence. There's so many possibilities coming through, but I'm also trusting that what we need to do is going to show up. And so I can tell you the modalities that I use and tell you more about them, but this is really about feeling inside of you whether you are ready to take this leap. And I am eternally grateful, and I've told them so many times, but I'm going to tell them again, for the founding 5 of Sovereign Soul Academy, the Queen Squad, as we came to be called, by ourselves, and the Builders of the Garden, is that these women showed up 2 months ago, over 2 months ago, and they just listened to me saying listen, I'm channeling through this thing, whatever healing you need, we're going to channel it through. And they took, without a question, without a doubt, those 5 women took the leap of faith, and they said, I don't know what this is going to bring about for me, but I just know that you're the person, and this is the container within which I'm going to do it. And that's what I'm talking about, is returning to this trust in ourselves, returning to the voice in our hearts, returning to our inner knowing, returning to that connection that we innately have with ourselves and nature and all that is. We are the keepers of the well. And so if you are ready to answer this call, I would love to hear from you. Fill out the application, click the link in my bio. You can send me a DM if you want. Let's chat it up. But what's come through so far about this Keepers of the Well is so beautiful. It is so sacred. And the healing that we're gonna do is really gonna restore us back, as I like to say, restore us back to factory settings. Before the conditioning, before the self-hatred, before the doubt, before all of that, we're going back in. So if you're ready to join me, February 28th, we set sail into that garden, back to the well. And all you have to do is say yes and show up. And we're taking care of the rest. We're taking care of the rest for you. So I love you. I will talk to you soon. Send me any questions you have and talk to you later. Bye.